Welcome to Lesson 2, where we'll review the difference between responsive and anticipatory pain. Did you know that rabbits have almost 360-degree vision? Because their eyes are positioned on the sides of their heads, they can see all around them, helping them survive in the wild. To survive, they have to constantly be wary and fearful of threats. Just like pain, experiencing fear is also necessary for our survival. Fear helps us become aware of threats and, if needed, to either fight or escape, known as the fight or flight response. There are two types of fears: responsive fear and anticipatory fear, also known as anxiety. Responsive fear is an unpleasant emotion in response to an awareness of danger, whether it be somebody chasing you or a spider or anything that you're afraid of being in your presence. This naturally results in experiencing the fight or flight response. You can either fight the fear or run away in response to a threat directly happening to you. Fear is obviously vital for the survival of any species, or else we'd just walk into danger. However, we can experience fear even if there is nothing to be afraid of. We just need to anticipate it. This is called anticipatory fear, or also known as anxiety. Responsive fear is a response to a threat that is already happening, such as the threat of being chased by someone or anything dangerous happening to you, while anticipatory fear or anxiety is the anticipation of a threat that may or may not happen in the future. Since anxiety is the anticipation of a threat, the threat is not actually happening in front of you. The danger is perceived to exist only at some point in the future. There's nothing to fight and nothing to escape from, yet still 100% experienced. Since no one can fight or escape something that is not physically present, the only two other options are to either freeze or to accept the threat. Whether responsive or anticipatory, the body's physiological responses to both fears are identical. For example, there's increased heart rate in both, increased blood pressure, muscle tension, increased alertness, release of stress hormones. They're identical physiological responses. Now let's discuss the two types of pain: responsive pain and anticipatory pain. Responsive pain is an unpleasant sensory and emotional experience in response to an awareness of danger, such as stepping on a nail or walking into a post. Anticipatory pain is an unpleasant sensory and emotional experience in response to an awareness of danger that is anticipated to occur. For example, someone may say, if I eat this, I anticipate that I will get a bellyache. Or if I walk, bend, or lift too much, I anticipate that I will get back pain. Responsive pain is experienced when a threat is happening or has already happened, such as you drop a brick on your foot, while anticipatory pain is experienced when a threat or a sense of being in danger is perceived in the future, which may or may not ever happen. Since anticipatory pain is based on an anticipated danger in the future, the apparent threat is not actually happening. It is perceived, although the pain is 100% real. When it is anticipatory, there's nothing to physically fight or escape from, nothing in the body to fix or cure. The only two other options are to either freeze or to accept it. Here's a really important note. Even when the pain is due to an illness, such as arthritis, or due to a physical injury, such as a broken bone or stepping on a nail, anticipatory pain makes everything feel even worse. Whether responsive or anticipatory, The body's physiological responses to both types of pain are identical. For example, there's increased muscle tension, stiffness, inflammation, hypersensitivity, release of stress hormones. They're identical physiological responses, whether responsive or anticipatory. Whether fear is responsive or anticipatory, both these fear experiences are real, and the body's responses are identical. But their managements are quite different. Whether pain is responsive or anticipatory, both of these pain experiences are real, and the body's responses are identical. Again, their managements, though, are quite different. The first approach to responsive pain is to remove the obvious threat. Once the immediate threat is removed, the injury must then be addressed, either through rest, allowing time to self-heal, or certain medical interventions. The first approach to anticipatory pain is, again, make sure that there is no obvious threat that needs to be addressed. That's why you've seen doctors and therapists. If no physical threat is detected, nothing broken, torn, ruptured, or injured, then treatment approaches that focus on healing or fixing the body become pointless. If pain is determined to be anticipatory, then no amount of rest or medical interventions that focus on treating the physical body will be effective. Anticipatory pain must be addressed by addressing the reasons why the pain system is anticipating danger in the first place. So how does one go about treating a pain system that is overworking to protect you? Hang in there. We have a few more lessons to go. This is the end of lesson 2. Do you recall the fascinating fact about rabbits that was mentioned in the beginning of this lesson? It was that rabbits have 360-degree vision. And why? Because to protect themselves in the wild. You may consider rabbits as having an extra sensitive fear system, which is okay for them, as that is how they've learned to survive in the wild. However, an extra sensitive anticipatory fear system in humans is simply exhausting and can lead to a hypersensitive pain system. I look forward to seeing you in lesson 3.